Eggs are one of the most well-loved foods for seniors. They're budget-friendly, simple to prepare, and loaded with protein that supports strong muscles, a healthy brain, and sharp eyesight. In fact, doctors frequently recommend eggs as one of the best breakfast foods for older adults. But here's something almost no one mentions. While eggs on their own are healthy, the foods you pair them with can entirely change the story. Certain combinations that seem harmless or even traditional can in fact work against your health. They can raise your blood pressure, strain your digestion, weaken your bones, or even elevate your risk of heart problems. And here's the surprising part. Many of these food combinations are things seniors eat every single week without realizing the hidden risks. From common breakfast choices to quick snacks, these mistakes are very easy to make. But once you know them, they're just as easy to avoid. I'm Dr. Marcus Bell, and for over 20 years, I have been helping seniors use food as medicine to remain strong, independent, and full of vitality. And today, I want to share with you an important truth. It's not just what you eat, but how you eat it, and especially what you eat together, that makes all the difference after 60. So, in this video, we are going to reveal the 10 food combinations you should never eat with eggs. Some of these will likely surprise you, because they're foods most of us have grown up eating side by side with eggs. But by the end, you'll know exactly which pairings to avoid, and how to enjoy your eggs in ways that truly protect your heart, your bones, and your long-term health. So, let's get started with the very first food you should never combine with eggs. 1. Processed cheese. When eggs and cheese isn't so healthy. For a lot of seniors, eggs and cheese go hand in hand. Whether it's scrambled eggs with shredded cheese on top, or an omelette stuffed with cheddar, this classic pairing feels comforting and satisfying. But here's the hidden danger. While natural cheeses in moderation can be healthy, processed cheese, the kind found in slices, spreads, or packaged blocks, is a very different story. Processed cheese is made with added salts, preservatives, and artificial stabilizers. Just one slice of processed cheese can contain 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium, and that's before you add the salt already in your eggs. For seniors with high blood pressure or heart disease, this combination can quickly push sodium levels too high, straining both the heart and kidneys. I remember Mr. Daniels, a 72-year-old who ate a cheese omelette nearly every morning. He thought it was a high-protein, heart-healthy start to his day. But when his blood pressure suddenly spiked, his doctor reviewed his diet and noticed the processed cheese slices he was using. Once he switched to fresh vegetables and a sprinkle of natural herbs instead, his blood pressure improved within weeks. Processed cheese is also often high in saturated fats and phosphates. For older adults, too much saturated fat increases cholesterol, while phosphates can weaken bones by disrupting calcium balance. Combined with eggs, which are already rich in protein and cholesterol, the effect is compounded, raising the risk of clogged arteries, fragile bones, and even kidney strain. Science supports this. A study in the Journal of the American Heart Association discovered that diets high in processed dairy products, especially processed cheese, were connected with higher risks of hypertension and cardiovascular events in older adults. Another study highlighted that phosphate additives commonly found in processed cheese accelerate bone loss in seniors. So, what's the bottom line? While eggs on their own can be a senior superfood, pairing them with processed cheese turns a healthy meal into a risky one. The extra sodium, additives, and unhealthy fats cancel out the benefits of eggs and put added stress on your heart, bones, and kidneys. If you love the taste of eggs with cheese, there are safer alternatives. Choose small amounts of natural cheeses like feta, mozzarella, or Swiss, which are lower in sodium and contain beneficial nutrients like calcium, or use herbs, spinach, or tomatoes for flavor instead of relying on processed cheese. Remember, sometimes it's not the egg that's the problem, but what you put on top of it. And when it comes to processed cheese, seniors are far better off leaving it off the plate. 2. Ice cream with eggs, a sweet combination that strains the body. Eggs and dairy often go together in desserts, custards, flans, and especially ice cream. Many traditional ice cream recipes use egg yolks to create that rich, creamy texture. It may taste indulgent and bring back childhood memories, but here's the hidden truth. For seniors, eggs combined with ice cream is one of the worst pairings you can possibly make. Why? Because this combination delivers a heavy dose of sugar, fat, and cholesterol all at once. Ice cream is already high in refined sugar and saturated fat. When you add eggs into the mix, you get a calorie-dense, nutrient-heavy food that's hard for an aging digestive system to handle. For seniors with slower metabolism, this often leads to weight gain, spikes in blood sugar, and digestive discomfort. I recall Mrs. Miller, a 70-year-old who loved making homemade egg ice cream for her grandchildren. She'd often have a scoop or two herself. Over time, she noticed her energy levels dropping, her cholesterol creeping higher, and episodes of bloating after dessert. When her doctor explained how the egg and ice cream pairing was overloading her system with saturated fat and sugar, she was shocked. After cutting back and choosing lighter treats, her digestion and energy both improved. There's also a hidden risk for seniors with diabetes or pre-diabetes. Eggs themselves don't raise blood sugar, but when combined with the high glycemic load of ice cream, they can amplify insulin resistance. Studies show that diets high in sugar and saturated fat worsen nerve damage in people with diabetes, leading to more tingling, numbness, and circulation issues in the hands and legs. Another concern is the use of raw or lightly cooked eggs in some ice cream recipes, like homemade versions. For older adults whose immune systems are weaker, this increases the risk of salmonella infection. Even mild food poisoning can be dangerous after 60, leading to dehydration and serious complications. Scientific evidence supports these warnings. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has linked high intake of saturated fats and sugar to accelerated cognitive decline and higher risk of cardiovascular disease in older adults. Another study highlighted the link between rich desserts like ice cream and increased inflammation, which worsens arthritis and nerve pain. So what's the bottom line? Eggs are powerful, and ice cream can be an occasional treat, but when combined, they create a nutrient overload that works against senior health, raising cholesterol, spiking blood sugar, and straining the digestive system. If you crave something sweet, try alternatives: frozen Greek yogurt with berries or banana ice cream blended at home. And if you enjoy eggs, keep them as part of a balanced meal, not hidden inside sugary desserts. Remember, just because a food tastes nostalgic, doesn't mean it's safe for your body now. For seniors, choosing lighter, cleaner treats means you can still enjoy sweetness without paying the price later. 3. White bread. Turning a healthy egg breakfast into a blood sugar spike. For many seniors, nothing feels more traditional than eggs with toast. It's quick, familiar, and comforting. But here's the problem: if that toast is made from white bread, the combination can quietly sabotage your health. While eggs provide protein and steady energy, pairing them with white bread turns the meal into a blood sugar roller coaster. White bread is made from refined flour, stripped of fiber and nutrients. This means it digests quickly, breaking down into sugar in your bloodstream. When combined with eggs, which slow digestion just a little, the refined carbs still overwhelm your system. The result is a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash, leaving you tired, hungry, and craving more food just hours later. I think of Mr. Johnson, a 74-year-old who ate 2 fried eggs with buttered white toast nearly every morning. He believed he was making a balanced protein-rich meal, but his blood sugar readings kept creeping higher, and he often felt drowsy mid-morning. When his doctor suggested switching from white bread to whole grain toast, the difference was dramatic. His energy steadied and his blood sugar stabilized. For seniors, this matters even more. After 60, insulin sensitivity naturally declines, and many older adults already face pre-diabetes or diabetes. Combining eggs with white bread accelerates the problem, pushing the body toward higher blood sugar swings that damage blood vessels and nerves over time. This is one of the hidden contributors to neuropathy, poor circulation, and vision problems in seniors. Science backs this up. A study in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that diets high in refined grains were strongly associated with increased risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease in older adults. Another study confirmed that refined carbs promote inflammation, worsening arthritis pain, and slowing nerve repair. There's also the issue of empty calories. White bread adds little nutrition to your eggs, no fiber, very little protein, and only a fraction of the vitamins found in whole grains. It fills you up, but doesn't nourish you, meaning your body misses the chance to get the nutrients it needs for healthy aging. So what's the bottom line? Eggs on their own are a senior superfood, but pairing them with white bread turns breakfast into a harmful combo that spikes blood sugar, drains energy, and increases long-term health risks. A better choice: pair eggs with whole grain bread, Ezekiel bread, or even roasted vegetables. These options add fiber, stabilize blood sugar, and make the protein and eggs work more effectively for your muscles and nerves. Remember, it's not just about eating eggs, it's about what you eat with them. Choosing the right partner for your eggs can mean the difference between fueling your day and quietly harming your health. 4. Raw garlic. When a healthy food turns harmful with eggs, garlic has been praised for centuries as a natural medicine. It supports the immune system, lowers cholesterol, and fights inflammation. Many seniors even chew raw garlic as a home remedy. On its own, garlic can indeed be beneficial, but when combined directly with eggs, especially in raw form, it can actually weaken digestion, block nutrient absorption, and irritate the stomach. The main issue comes from garlic's allicin, the compound released when garlic is crushed or chewed raw. Allicin is powerful, but also harsh on the stomach lining. Eggs, especially egg yolks, are rich in proteins and fats that require smooth digestion. When eaten together with raw garlic, the allicin interferes with the enzymes needed to digest egg proteins, leaving seniors vulnerable to bloating, indigestion, or stomach cramps. I recall Mrs. Carter, a 71-year-old, who started adding raw garlic cloves to her morning egg breakfast because she'd heard it would double the health benefits. Instead, she began experiencing frequent heartburn and nausea. Her doctor explained that while both eggs and garlic are healthy separately, eating raw garlic with eggs was disrupting her digestion. Once she switched to lightly cooked garlic, or separated them into different meals, her symptoms disappeared. Another concern is nutrient interference. Studies suggest that raw garlic can reduce the body's absorption of certain nutrients, including the fats, soluble vitamins A, D, and E, all of which are abundant in eggs, and critical for seniors' eye health, bone strength, and immunity. This means that instead of boosting nutrition, raw garlic with eggs can cancel out some of the very benefits seniors are hoping for. Science supports these risks. Research in the Journal of Food Science and Nutrition notes that while garlic has many benefits, raw garlic is a strong gastrointestinal irritant, especially when combined with protein-rich foods. For older adults with sensitive stomachs or digestive conditions, this can be particularly problematic. So what's the bottom line? Garlic is a health-boosting food, but not when eaten raw alongside eggs. For seniors, this combination can cause more harm than good. Indigestion, reduced nutrient absorption, and unnecessary stomach irritation. If you love garlic, enjoy it cooked gently with vegetables or added to soups. Cooking mellows the allicin, making it easier on digestion, while still offering heart and immune benefits. And if you enjoy eggs, keep them simple or pair them with herbs and greens that support digestion rather than fight against it. Remember, sometimes two healthy foods don't belong together. With eggs and raw garlic, separating them ensures you get the best of both without the painful consequences. 5. Coffee right after eating eggs. A morning habit that blocks nutrition. For many seniors, breakfast feels incomplete without a cup of coffee. 2 fried eggs, maybe some toast, and then that warm, comforting sip of coffee. It's a routine millions follow every morning. But here's the surprising truth. Drinking coffee immediately after eating eggs can quietly block your body from absorbing their most important nutrients. The problem lies in coffee's natural compounds, caffeine and tannins. These substances interfere with the absorption of key minerals in eggs, especially iron, calcium, and zinc. For seniors, these minerals are essential. Iron keeps energy levels steady, calcium strengthens bones, and zinc supports immunity. When coffee is consumed right after eggs, much of this nutrition simply passes through the body unused. I think of Mr. Hernandez, a 69-year-old who prided himself on having the perfect breakfast, scrambled eggs, and a large cup of black coffee. Over time he began feeling unusually fatigued, and his doctor noticed his iron levels were dropping. The culprit wasn't the eggs, it was the coffee he drank immediately after. Once he shifted his coffee to mid-morning, instead of right after breakfast, his energy and lab results improved. For seniors, this interaction is especially important. After 60, digestion naturally slows, and the body already absorbs fewer nutrients than before. Blocking minerals further with coffee can accelerate issues like anemia, brittle bones, and weak immunity. Women after menopause, who already face a higher risk of osteoporosis, are particularly vulnerable. Science confirms this. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking coffee with meals reduced iron absorption by up to 40. Another study highlighted how caffeine increases calcium loss in urine, further raising the risk of bone thinning. Together, this creates a hidden trap, a meal that looks healthy but delivers far less benefit. This doesn't mean seniors have to give up coffee entirely. Coffee has its own benefits: antioxidants, improved alertness, even reduced risk of Parkinson's disease. The key is timing. Instead of drinking coffee immediately after eggs, wait at least 1 to 2 hours. This gives your body time to absorb the nutrients from eggs before caffeine interferes. So what's the bottom line? Eggs are one of the best breakfast foods for seniors, but pairing them with coffee right away blocks the very nutrients that make them powerful. By simply delaying your coffee, you can enjoy both foods and let your body get the full benefit of each. Remember, sometimes it's not about what you eat, but when you eat it. For seniors, the right timing can mean stronger bones, better energy, and a healthier heart. 6. Persimmons, a sweet fruit that turns risky with eggs. Persimmons, those bright orange fruits that show up in the fall, are loved for their sweetness and smooth texture. Many seniors in the US enjoy them fresh in puddings, or even sliced alongside breakfast foods like eggs. On their own, persimmons are rich in fiber, vitamin C, and antioxidants, wonderful for the immune system and digestion. But when eaten together with eggs, persimmons can actually cause serious digestive trouble and nutrient blockages. The reason lies in persimmons' high content of tannins, especially in the astringent varieties. Tannins are plant compounds that give persimmons their slightly bitter aftertaste before they fully ripen. When tannins come into contact with the proteins in eggs, they form a sticky, insoluble mass inside the stomach. This can slow digestion dramatically, and in some cases lead to indigestion, bloating, constipation, or even bizzers, hard masses in the stomach. I recall Mrs. Nguyen, a 68-year-old who loved eating a boiled egg with slices of persimmon for breakfast. She thought she was starting her day with a balanced meal, but within weeks, she began experiencing severe bloating and stomach cramps. Her doctor later explained that the combination of egg protein and persimmon tannins was gumming up her digestion. Once she separated the foods, eating persimmons as an afternoon snack instead, her discomfort disappeared. For seniors, the risk is even higher. As we age, the stomach produces less acid and digestion slows naturally. This means food combinations that younger people might tolerate can become problematic after 60. Eggs already require more digestive effort because of their protein and fat content. Adding tannin-rich persimmons on top only compounds the problem, often leading to sluggish bowels, acid reflux, or poor absorption of nutrients. Science supports these concerns. Medical studies have documented that persimmons, when eaten with protein-rich foods, increase the likelihood of gastric bizzers, especially in older adults with reduced gut motility. While rare, these cases highlight just how powerful the wrong food combination can be. Does this mean seniors should avoid persimmons altogether? Not at all. Persimmons have real benefits, including supporting immunity and lowering blood pressure. The key is timing. Enjoy persimmons as a snack several hours apart from eggs, rather than pairing them in the same meal. This way, your body can absorb the nutrients from both without conflict. So what's the bottom line? Eggs and persimmons may both be healthy on their own, but together they create digestive stress that seniors simply don't need. Keeping them apart ensures you get the best from both without the uncomfortable consequences. Remember, in nutrition, sometimes the when and how matter as much as the what. By making simple adjustments, seniors can enjoy more comfort, better digestion, and stronger health every day. 7. Whole milk, a heavy pairing that overloads digestion. For decades, the image of a wholesome breakfast has been simple: eggs with a glass of milk. Many seniors grew up believing this was the ultimate way to start the day. Strong protein from eggs, plus the bone-strengthening calcium of milk. On paper it sounds perfect, but here's the truth. Combining eggs with whole milk can actually backfire, especially for older adults. The issue lies in how the body digests these foods together. Both eggs and whole milk are dense in protein and fat, which requires significant digestive effort. When eaten at the same time, they slow down stomach emptying, leading to heaviness, bloating, and indigestion. Makes sense, right? For seniors whose digestive enzymes naturally decrease with age, this double load can leave you feeling sluggish for hours. I remember Mr. Collins, a 72-year-old who loved starting his mornings with scrambled eggs and a tall glass of whole milk. He thought it was giving him the strength he needed, but he often complained of mid-morning fatigue, gas, and even constipation. After switching his milk to a lighter option, unsweetened almond milk, he noticed a remarkable difference. The heaviness disappeared, and his digestion improved. There's another hidden risk: cholesterol and saturated fat overload. A single egg yolk has about 185 milligrams of cholesterol, and whole milk adds more saturated fat on top. For seniors with high cholesterol or a history of heart disease, this pairing can quietly push blood cholesterol higher, straining the arteries and raising cardiovascular risk. Science confirms these concerns. A study in the Journal of Clinical Gastroenterology highlighted that high-fat protein-rich meals slow gastric emptying and worsen reflux symptoms, especially in older adults. Another study in the American Journal of Cardiology linked higher intake of saturated fat from whole milk to increased cardiovascular risk in seniors. And while milk does contain calcium, pairing it with eggs may actually reduce calcium absorption. Some research suggests that the high phosphorus and protein load interferes with how efficiently calcium is absorbed into bones. For seniors trying to prevent osteoporosis, this is a serious concern. Does this mean seniors should give up eggs or milk entirely? Not at all. Both can still be part of a balanced diet, just not together. Eggs pair better with vegetables, whole grain toast, or leafy greens. Milk, if you enjoy it, can be consumed later in the day or swapped for lighter options like kefir, oat milk, or soy milk, which are easier to digest. So, what's the bottom line? Eggs and whole milk may look like the perfect pair, but for seniors, they create a digestive and cardiovascular burden that outweighs the benefits. Separating them or choosing lighter alternatives lets you enjoy both foods without the hidden risks. Remember, after 60, it's not just what you eat, but how well your body can use it. Choosing gentler combinations helps your digestion, protects your heart, and keeps your energy steady. 8. Citrus fruit. When too much acidity cancels out egg nutrition, eggs and fruit are often seen as the perfect light breakfast. Many seniors enjoy a boiled egg with a slice of orange or a glass of grapefruit juice. On their own, both foods are healthy. Eggs provide protein and essential vitamins, while citrus fruits are rich in vitamin C. But here's the catch. When eggs are combined with very acidic citrus fruits, the body struggles to process both foods efficiently, and seniors pay the price. The problem comes down to digestion. Eggs are high in protein and fat, which require alkaline enzymes from the pancreas to break down. Citrus fruits, especially when very sour, like grapefruit, lemons, or unripe oranges, flood the stomach with acid. When eaten together, the excess acid interferes with protein digestion, leaving eggs only partially broken down. The result can be indigestion, bloating, and sometimes acid reflux. Common complaints among seniors whose stomach acid balance is already more delicate. I think of Mrs. Garcia, a 70-year-old who liked to drink grapefruit juice with her morning omelette. She believed she was giving her immune system a boost, but soon she began to notice heartburn and an uncomfortable heaviness after breakfast. Her doctor explained that the high acidity of the citrus was clashing with the proteins in her eggs. Once she separated the two, eating citrus as a mid-morning snack, her symptoms improved dramatically. Another hidden concern is nutrient absorption. Eggs are rich in fat-soluble vitamins like A, D. When the stomach becomes too acidic, the body absorbs less of these vital nutrients. Seniors who already struggle with bone strength, vision, or immune health can miss out on the benefits they need most. Science supports this. Research in the Journal of Gastroenterology and Hepatology shows that high-acid foods impair protein digestion and slow gastric emptying. Another study highlighted that acidic fruit juices, especially grapefruit, can interfere with certain medications, a serious risk for seniors on blood pressure or cholesterol drugs. Does this mean seniors must avoid citrus altogether? Not at all. Citrus is still one of the best sources of vitamin C, which supports collagen, immunity, and circulation. The key is timing and moderation. Instead of eating citrus right alongside eggs, enjoy it separately, perhaps as a snack 2 hours later, or as part of a light afternoon meal. So, what's the bottom line? Eggs and citrus are both nutritious, but together, they can cancel each other out and strain digestion. For seniors, separating them ensures you get the best from both. Strong muscles from eggs and immune support from citrus without the discomfort. Remember, even healthy foods can clash when eaten at the wrong time. With a little planning, you can enjoy both the freshness of citrus and the strength of eggs, just not in the same bite. 9. Walnuts. A healthy nut that doesn't match well with eggs. Walnuts are often called a superfood. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and plant compounds that protect the brain and heart. Many seniors snack on walnuts daily, and for good reason. They can lower cholesterol, improve memory, and reduce inflammation. Eggs, too, are considered a senior superfood. But here's the surprising truth. When walnuts and eggs are eaten together, their benefits can clash, and the combination may cause more harm than good. The main issue is digestion and nutrient interference. Both walnuts and eggs are dense in fat and protein. Walnuts are high in polyunsaturated fats, while eggs contain cholesterol and saturated fat. When consumed together, the digestive system becomes overloaded, especially in seniors whose enzyme production naturally declines after 60. The result can be bloating, indigestion, or fat malabsorption, leaving seniors feeling heavy or uncomfortable. I recall Mr. Bradley, a 73, who liked to add chopped walnuts into his morning scrambled eggs, thinking it made the meal even healthier. But over time he developed persistent indigestion and noticed his cholesterol creeping upward. His nutritionist explained that while walnuts are excellent on their own, pairing them with cholesterol-rich eggs meant his body struggled to process the combined fat load. Once he began eating walnuts as a separate snack in the afternoon, his digestion and cholesterol readings improved. There's also a biochemical clash. Walnuts contain compounds called tannins and phtalates, which can interfere with the absorption of minerals like iron and zinc, nutrients that eggs provide in abundance. Seniors already face a higher risk of iron deficiency anemia, so blocking even a portion of these minerals is a hidden disadvantage. Science confirms these risks. A study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that phthalates in nuts reduce iron absorption when eaten alongside animal protein. Another study highlighted that high-fat combinations increase oxidative stress in digestion, especially in older adults with slower metabolism. Does this mean walnuts are bad for seniors? Not at all. Walnuts remain one of the best nuts for brain and heart health when eaten in moderation and separately from eggs. A small handful of walnuts as a mid-morning snack, or sprinkled into oatmeal, lets you reap the benefits without overloading your digestive system. So, what's the bottom line? Walnuts and eggs are both nutrient-dense foods, but they don't play well together. For seniors, combining them cancels out some of their benefits and adds unnecessary digestive stress. Remember, sometimes the smartest way to eat healthy foods is not together, but apart. By keeping walnuts and eggs in separate meals, you allow each to deliver its full protective power to your heart, brain and nerves. 10. Black tea. A comforting drink that blocks egg nutrition. For many seniors, a cup of strong black tea with breakfast is a daily ritual. It warms the body, wakes up the mind, and feels like the perfect complement to a plate of eggs. But here's the hidden problem. When black tea is consumed right alongside eggs, it can block the very nutrients that make eggs so beneficial for seniors. The main culprits are tannins and caffeine. Tannins are plant compounds that give tea its bitter, astringent flavor. When consumed with eggs, tannins bind to the proteins and minerals in eggs, particularly iron, calcium, and zinc, forming insoluble complexes that the body can't absorb. This means that instead of fueling your body, much of the nutrition from your eggs simply goes to waste. I think of Mrs. Lee, a 75-year-old who loved starting her day with a hard-boiled egg and a cup of strong Earl Grey tea. Despite eating a balanced diet, she was diagnosed with iron deficiency anemia. Her doctor explained that her tea habit was interfering with iron absorption from her eggs and other foods. When she switched to drinking her tea later in the morning, her iron levels improved, and she felt more energetic. For seniors, this interaction is especially concerning. After age 60, the risk of anemia rises, bone density naturally decreases, and the body's ability to absorb nutrients declines. Blocking iron and calcium further by pairing eggs with black tea makes these problems worse, leading to fatigue, brittle bones and weakened immunity. Science backs this up. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking black tea with meals reduced iron absorption by up to 60. Another study confirmed that caffeine increases calcium excretion, which is particularly dangerous for older adults trying to prevent osteoporosis. This doesn't mean seniors need to give up black tea completely.
Tea has its own benefits, antioxidants that protect the heart and brain. The key is timing. Instead of drinking tea during or immediately after eating eggs, enjoy it at least 1 to 2 hours later. This way, your body can absorb the nutrients from eggs fully before tannins interfere. So, what's the bottom line? Eggs are one of the most nutritious foods for but pairing them with strong black tea blocks their benefits and increases the risk of nutrient deficiencies. By simply adjusting when you drink your tea, you can enjoy both eggs and tea without sacrificing your health. Remember, sometimes the healthiest foods don't belong on the same table. With eggs and black tea, keeping them apart ensures you get the best of both worlds. Strength for your body and clarity for your mind. So, today we've uncovered the hidden truth about eggs. It's not just how many you eat, but what you eat them with that makes all the difference. We started with foods that seem harmless, even healthy. But when combined with eggs, they can quietly steal away the benefits. Processed cheese, white bread, and whole milk can overload your digestion. Raw garlic, citrus fruits, and walnuts can block nutrient absorption. Persimmons and black tea can tie up minerals your body desperately needs. And of course, pairing eggs with ice cream or coffee right after eating only increases strain on your heart, blood sugar, and bones. Each of these mistakes may seem small, but together they explain why some feel bloated, tired, or weak, even when they think they're eating a healthy breakfast. The good news is that every one of these problems is preventable. By simply knowing what not to pair with eggs, you can unlock their full power. Stronger muscles, sharper memory, steadier energy, and better circulation. Here's the takeaway. Eggs are one of the best foods for seniors, but only when eaten wisely. Respect their value. Pair them with the right foods, and they will support your independence for years to come. If you found this video helpful, I would love to welcome you into our growing community here at Senior Strength Guide. Each week, I share science-based practical tips to help older adults use food as medicine to stay strong, vibrant, and independent. So please be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell, and share this video with a friend who might also benefit. Remember, health isn't built by big changes alone. It's the little choices, like what you eat with your eggs, that shape your future. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you never miss new videos.